Okay, it's been a while. So I'm building a whole new area, and I am basically like 85% done with it. Um, what is showing right now is just me revamping the already existing interchange that I made, and this is the start of the new area. Um, So, this episode will have what I did with the new area, it being rough, oh, close to being done. I won't be finishing it in this episode or the next episode because next episode I got tired of this area, so I did a different one. And at the end of this episode, I'll also be showing like a cool short moment of having all the trucks and trains going through the cargo hub so you can see how cool and busy it looks. But yeah, so this is like an industrial area that goes under the bridge that is the highway. On the other side of the highway, there'll be um, a residential, not suburbia because it's still in the city, but it's like a low density residential area of the city. And then this is an industrial area right off the cargo hub. And yeah, so there's a lot of things that I did. There's a really cool parking lot that is like half custom made, and above it there's a Lidl, and there's a really cool trick that I used. I put a train station there so I can use the platform assets, so I can have like an elevator for the parking lot, which I thought was really cool. So it's kind of like there'll be a parking garage, and on top of it, there'll be a parking lot, and there's an elevator there, so it looks like you can go down the parking garage from there. But yeah, so this is just me filling up space in on the other side of the road. So right across from this is the cargo hub. You can see the lunch area right there. So just more trucks because it makes sense they'll be there. Water tower. Kind of like how it turned out. It was very cute. Found a bunch of other water tower assets after this as well. So I'm actually kind of liking that the water tower next to the bus hub isn't the only one that's going to be there. It's going to be like kind of a theme around the city that areas have water towers. This is a gas station. I kind of like that it's like a really old gas station, so you can actually see the gas tank, like the petroleum tanks. I thought that was pretty neat. And cars actually go in and drive and then they stop. And it looks like they're tanking, which is cool, I think. In other parts of the video, some of the fences I put around this area look like they're floating, but I fixed that, so no worries. Um, I found more kind of neat car wheel assets, so it's nice to just have like big piles of not wheels, sorry, tires, of pile of tires everywhere. Yeah, this is this one is a fire station, and you'll see because I put a fire engine there, and it's right next to the oil station, which kind of makes sense, I guess. Um, yeah, and so this is an area that isn't fully done yet. I rough placed a few buildings. This is the garage now. Now you're gonna see me tinkering with building the parking garage. So you can see it's really big, really tall. Then this is the trick that I used with the train station. I like placed it so there's an elevator, and then I just left it there. Um, I redid some of the road layout around here and continued to tinker with it in the next episode as well. But it looks really good now. Um, yeah. So, what else can I tell you? Yeah, there is. This is another area, still industry, and it's close to the cargo hub. I'm gonna have to refill this. This one is really unfinished. But on this side, yeah, this is the parking lot I was talking about. Um, I really like it. I put a Lidl asset here, and then I used a bunch of like blue assets, so it all looks very cohesive, and I think it looks really nice, at least from afar for sure. Um, so yeah, what else can I tell you? Oh yeah, I put shopping cart assets everywhere, even though you can't see them under those little tents. But whatever. Um, yes. What else? Cracks, good. Okay, so this industry area is I have worked a while on it, and it went through a lot of different iterations and stuff. There's a huge height difference here, so that was difficult to work with, and it was a lot of planning, try to figure out how to make things look natural and normal and not too like slopey. um there's also a lot of advertising that is around here because we're close to the highway and it's an industry area, so it just makes sense to me. Um, so we're gonna soon start doing the connection between these buildings and the highway slope, and I'm really proud with how that looks. I think that looks really nice. And what else can I say? I'm hearing clicking, but I don't know what that is, and it's confusing. Maybe it's rain, maybe it's my mouse key, I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah. As I said, I'm not done. Although these buildings that I'm now showing are done. Like this one is done, then one next to it is done, the one next to it is done. This area is finished. Um, and unfortunately, because of how I built the road, I actually couldn't get rid of the lights on the road. So I ended up making sure that wherever there's a light, it fits properly with how I wanted the buildings to be. I use these football field assets to put fences. So it looks like fences that are there to prevent like dirt slides and like mudslides. And I was told it looks really good. And I agree. It looks good. It looks convincing, I think. I believe. Yeah. So, and I put ads here, which are really pretty. They look really nice. And, see, told you. It's pretty. And then this is more of a rustic one, and I custom made the frame of it. What else can I tell you? I'm a bit slow on the talking because my brain is already focused on the next episode because I'm really excited about what's happening there. And I've worked on this area for weeks and weeks and weeks, so I'm very used to saying all of it. But so I guess the commentary isn't very good. I apologize. But I think it's actually quite a nice industrial area, and I made sure people can walk here. They don't crash into things. They don't walk through things. So people walk up and down this road, and it's very cool. And they walk into some of the assets, which is very cool. And there are also cars that will be driving here up and down soon, and they go onto the highway. It's all functional. I'm very proud of it. It looks very good. Um, yeah, this is the entrance to the parking garage. So what I did here again, because there's huge height differences, there was a lot of work of like trying to make things not look ridiculous, and not have like a huge cliffside, but also just making things look not awful, I guess. And I can't say if it's realistic or not. Like I tried to do things in a way that, see, these are guards for to stop landfalls, and this is a caravan selling like facility. like traveling caravans and stuff. And I even made a custom sign for it that you just saw. I made that. Well, a friend of mine made it, and then we imported it into the game, and then I put it there. So that's kind of exciting. So now I know how to do custom signs, so there'll be more of that. So my friend will be exhausted. Yeah. This is a factory that I ended up building an extension for, so it will fit. So it will fill up some more space that I was looking, and I will actually delete some of it and continue to extend it further because I kind of changed the road next to it, and I needed it to fill up even more space. So you will see me do that again. And then the roof is just fenced up because the roof is close to like it's like his height. Technically, a person walking there could just get on the roof, so there's a fence there to stop people from doing that. And this is the old junction that I have worked many a time on and continue to do so. Yeah, that's a thing. And this is just me detailing it. And again, it's not 100% done, but it's like 90% done. Um, which I think is okay-ish. This area is very chaotic. You're gonna see soon how it ends up looking. And although I do think it's very cool, I don't think it will be everyone's cup of tea. Like, it's, as you can see, I just made it look like really shabby. There's just rocks and dirt and asphalt everywhere and just things thrown around. Which, to be fair, is one of my favorite things to build. I just really enjoyed that, like deserted aesthetic. I enjoy it a lot. So there's that to keep in mind. I ended up deleting this road and just make it look like it's just a walking path for people. Because the only building up here that there's access to is the building in charge of the water tower. So technically, vehicles can come up to this section of the area, but there's no real need to. So there's only like a gravel path, which gave me a lot more space to have to fill up with junk and vegetation, but not make it look too wild because it is in the heart of the industrial zone. And it's like, well, why wasn't anything else built here and stuff? And it was just hard to piece it all together. But I think considering everything I did a reasonable job. This is just the method I used to put markings on this ramp to the highway. I ended up changing the markings from what I did last week. So, yeah, I ended up using a yellow one because it's probably a newer one that was put in later. And yeah, so you can see what I did basically. And now I'm going to change the road here, which will cause me to change the extension of the building. You can see the green fence, and this is exactly what we're doing right now. So I delete the green fence, I put the texture that I used for the roof back on, and then I will reposition the fence where I decided it should be. See what I mean? So yeah, I just made it slightly bigger so it makes even more sense that there was an extension. And yeah, there are a lot of signs and it's not done. There'll be more signs, but yeah, it just makes sense that there'll be a lot of advertisement and stuff. So I made sure to keep that in mind. And a guardrail, which I'm no expert in. I heard it's very expensive, so I was trying to mix like where would there be guardrail and where would there be other types of railing and where would there be nothing. Should there be a fence here? Should there not be? And again, I'm not an expert, so I have no idea. So I'm just kind of walking. I'm working based off like I try to find pictures online and I try to think like, well, this makes sense to me, which doesn't mean much. But yeah. Um, this area, I don't know how to feel about it. It became like very floral and blue, and it's not blue, green. And the question is like, well, why would it look like that here? And I don't have an answer. I don't think it sticks out horribly. So yeah, yeah. Tell me what you think about it. I don't know. I was just trying to work with what I had. As you can see, there are more flowering trees here and stuff, and I add a lot more green on the ground. So again, I'm going for a more like not being groomed aesthetic. Um, and like gardening isn't really taking place, type of thing. Yeah, these barrels, I wondered if I should have used like the blue barrels instead. I might change that, I'm not sure. This is meant to be like a tire pressure place, where you inject air into your tires. So that's what that's meant to be. And I put lights here so like at night you will see the petroleum tanks, cuz like you don't want something to accidentally hit like a few dozen gallons worth of like oil, right? Of like gasoline. So yeah, I don't think that's realistic, but I was like, if someone's bombarding this city from the sky, they should see that there's a huge petroleum tank right here. I don't know. Okay. And this is the part that I put in about like showing you guys how the hub looks with the trains coming in and out and the trucks. And yeah, I'm really proud of it. And I hope you have a good time. Had a good time. And I'll see you next time in a different area. Bye.